This video will show you how to cut dough for your monkey bread muffins. You can use 3 different tools: kitchen scissors, a pizza cutter, or a knife. This video will show you all 3. So I have all my materials out on my workspace. I have a spoon and the biscuit dough can. So I have the spoon to open the dough, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I have a cutting board and a pair of kitchen scissors and a kitchen safety glove as well. So I'm going to show you how to open these. The instructions will probably be on the can. This one says to peel, press, and then pop. So what we're going to do first is peel where it says start here. There's a little edge that I can pick at and pull up, and you're just going to peel that around the can. So I'm going to peel the whole thing off, and you can just throw that away. And the next is to press. So you're going to press the spoon at the seam, and there's a little arrow here. It's telling me where to press. And I'm just going to take the spoon and press down. Whoop, and it pops. And then you can open your can up and your biscuit dough will come out. So I'm going to take the cover off my scissors, and when you're cutting with scissors, you want to try to keep your wrist in a neutral position, and you always want to cut away from your body. So I have the scissors pointed away from me and towards the food. I'm going to hold the dough with my left hand that the glove is on, and I'm going to start to open the scissors and cut them into little strips here. And this dough is very easy to cut. I'm just opening the scissors and closing them very gently. Okay, and now that I have it into little strips, I want small pieces. So I'm going to take each strip and cut little pieces here. And I'm just moving my hands kind of backwards as I go along. Do another one. Okay. If you want to use one hand to cut your dough, a pizza cutter is a really good way to do that. So I'm going to show you that next. I've got my cutting board, the dough here on the center, and then a pizza cutter. I'm holding the pizza cutter in my right hand because that's my dominant hand, and I'm just going to push down on the dough and start to move back and forth to make a line in the dough. And I'm going to keep pressing down pretty firmly until I can cut all the way through. And so we're going to cut some strips in the dough first. I'm going to go across again, moving back and forth. Press all the way down. We've got another strip. Okay, so we've got a few strips here, and now we're going to cut that into some chunks. So I'm pressing firmly down and moving back and forth. And the dough's a little sticky, so it might stick to your cutting board or the pizza cutter. You can just pull it off. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm moving back and forth. And it's okay if it's messy. Your pieces don't have to be perfect. Doesn't matter what size they are. We just want little chunks. Again, I'm going to go back and forth. And the dough is kind of stuck, so I'm going to peel that off. We've got one more piece. Going back and forth. Okay. And that's how you can use a pizza cutter. So now I'm going to cut the dough with a knife. And I'm gonna first put on my kitchen safety glove. I'm putting that on my left hand because that's my non-dominant hand, and that's the hand I'm gonna hold my food with. And I'm gonna pick up my knife with my right hand because that's my dominant hand, so I'm gonna do my cutting with that hand. And what you wanna do is you wanna be sure you have your claw formation, and that helps protect your fingers so you don't cut down on them. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start pushing down in the dough and moving back and forth to cut all the way through. Then you can move the piece over. I'm gonna push down and back and forth. The dough might be a little sticky, so it may stick to your cutting board. Move down again and back and forth. One more. So I've got about 5 slices. I'm gonna put the knife down and move the dough away. And then I'm gonna take each individual strand and cut small chunks from that. And your chunks don't have to be any particular size. We're just gonna cut down and get a couple pieces. Again, pushing down and moving back and forth. Okay. So as I move across the slice, I'm just moving my hand over to make sure it is out of the way. Here. And that's how you cut the dough with a knife.